हम सब यहाँ एकत्र हैं और जो हमारे लिए ऊर्जा के स्रोत हैं, ऐसे पूज्य बाबूजी, शतवर्षीय डॉक्टर नारायण लाल नड्डा जी के स्वागत के लिए मैं आदरणीय बासु दीदी से आग्रह करता हूँ कि वे आएं और पहले बाबूजी का स्वागत करें। बाबूजी की प्रेरणा से सब कुछ हुआ है, इसलिए उनका आशीर्वाद लेना। आई। करा दो बेटा, करा दो पर
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Upadhyay, sir, to kindly felicitate, sir. Can we please have a round of applause? Thank you, sir. It is now my distinct honor to introduce a man whose leadership in the field of medical education and healthcare governance has been exemplary. It is none other than Dr. Abhijat Sheth, sir, Chairperson of the National Medical Commission and President of the governing body of the National Board of Examinations in Medical Science. With great respect, I now honor Dr. Abhijat Sheth, sir, to accept the token of our deepest appreciation. I request Dr. J.B. Nadda, sir, to please kindly come up and felicitate, sir. Can we please have a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you. Yes, sir. Now, it is my utmost honor to introduce a distinguished figure whose vision and dedication have played a critical role in promoting literature and knowledge across the nation. Sir has been a driving force in bringing quality literature to readers far and wide. With sincere respect, I now honor Shri Prabhat sir with appreciation for his invaluable contribution to the world of literature. I may request Dr. Meenu Bajpai sir to kindly come up and felicitate sir. I may request Dr. Nikhil Tandon sir to kindly come up and felicitate Dr. S.N.Basu ma'am because it's her special day today. Can we please have a round of applause, please? Thank you so much, sir. I would now like to invite Professor Meenu Bajpai sir, Honorary ED and Vice President, National Board of Examinations, to please enlighten us about the author.
Can this be shifted or it's fixed? So, thank you. Dr. S.N.Basu needs no introduction, but on this momentous occasion of the release of her yet another book, it is my proud privilege to provide an overview of her accomplishments to this august audience. Dr. Basu holds a brilliant academic record, has received enormous recognition in her specialty, has played a stellar leadership role in the organizations she has represented, including and most notably in the National Board of Examination in Medical Sciences. Dr. Mrs. S.N.Basu is a globally recognized leader in obstetrics and gynecology and a pioneering force in advancing communication in healthcare. She's a gold medalist in MBBS, has a master's in surgery. She's a fellow of the Indian College of Mother and Child Health, a member of the Royal College of Obstetrics and Gynecology, MRCOG UK, also a fellow of the Royal College of Obstetrics and Gynecology, FRCOG UK. Dr. Basu currently serves as the Principal Director and Head of the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology at Max Super Specialty Hospital, Shalimar Bagh, Delhi. She is the National Chairperson of the Committee on Communication in Healthcare and Professional Development of the National Board of Examination in Medical Sciences under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. She is also a member of its governing body. She is also the founder president of the Society for Communication in Healthcare, SOCH India, and chairperson of the advisory board of the International Association for Communication in Healthcare in the UK. Dr. Basu has played an instrumental role in reforming medical education and professional development across the country. She is the academic program director of the International Max Healthcare MRCOG program of the UK. We would like to highlight that the International Max Healthcare MRCOG program is a prestigious PG training program in OBGY offered by hospitals, most notably by Max Healthcare in India in collaboration with the UK's Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. It provides a structured, internationally recognized pathway for doctors to gain expertise in women's health and achieve membership of the Royal College, which is MRCOG. Dr. Basu's contributions have been celebrated through numerous national and international awards, including Global Visionary Award 2025 at the Global Yoga Summit, Certificate of Excellence for Path-Breaking Reforms in Medical Education by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Nari Shakti Award at Ujjwala Summit 2025, Dr. Satyapal Award for High-Risk Pregnancy Management, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Award, and the Fox Eye Achiever Award. I would like to mention here that the Federation of Obstetrics and Gynecology Societies of India, Fox Eye, is the professional organization representing its practitioners, with 286 member societies and over 46,000 plus individual members spread over the length and breadth of the country. Fox Eye is probably one of the largest membership-based organizations of specialized professionals. Dr. Basu has been decorated with the Fox Eye Achiever Award. Dr. Basu's constellation of recognition also includes Hamilton Bailey Prize and Gold Medal, Birmingham, UK, International Women of the Year 1996, Cambridge, UK, Distinguished Teachers Award by the Association of National Board Accredited Institutions, Roll of Honor for Excellence, Jaipur Gordon Hospital, and Excellence Award for Clinical and Academic Excellence, Max Healthcare. A passionate educator, clinician, and reformist, Dr. Basu continues to shape the future of healthcare delivery with her deep commitment to compassionate care, ethical practice, and empowering communication. This book, Communication in Healthcare, Principles, Skills, and Practices by Dr. S.N.Basu, is a timely and much-needed contribution to modern medicine. The book highlights that good communication is not just a soft skill, but the very heart of safe, ethical, and compassionate care. Drawing from decades of experience, it offers practical frameworks for doctor-patient conversations, teamwork, breaking bad news, crisis management, and teaching communication in medical education. What makes it stand out is the balance between evidence and lived experience, real stories, where listening builds trust or where silence caused pain. Clear, insightful, and deeply human, the book is equally valuable for students, doctors, nurses, and healthcare leaders. Dr. Basu's work reminds us that medicine heals best when it combines science with empathy, respect, and compassion. A burning example in our daily lives is the Special Olympics Bharat, which is the national sports federation in India and is accredited by Special Olympics International. It conducts Olympic-type sports programs for people with intellectual and developmental stability. Special Olympics Bharat is an outstanding example of what compassion and encouragement can do to human healing. During Special Olympics Bharat 2025, special children won several awards, including 33 medals at the Special Olympics World Winter Games in Italy in March 2025. India's boys team winning the Gothia Cup title in Sweden in July 2025. It is a matter of great honor that in our audience is present Mrs. Malika Nadda, who is the chairperson of the Special Olympics Bharat. Welcome, madam. And it was a privilege just a few days back at Yashoda Medicity when I am one of the principal directors in pediatric surgery. We have the presence of our chairman and the medical director of Dr. P.N. Arora in the audience here, and where we had discussed in detail about how we can go forward and also include some of these things in our medical education right at the MBBS level. Dr. Basu is the national chairperson of the Communication in Healthcare and Professional Development Committee of the National Board. The National Board of Examination, as many of you know, is an autonomous body under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, established to standardize and elevate the quality of postgraduate medical education in India. It achieves this by conducting high standard uniform national examination. With Professor Abhijat Sheth as the President of the National Board and Professor V.K. Paul as member of the NITI Aayog, National Board of Examination in the last 10 years have seen great strides and unprecedented growth, contributing to more than 110 specialties and 4 times increase in postgraduate seats in the country. And you may know that NBEMS conducts the largest single-session computer-based test in the world, the NEET test for PG entrance, where more than 2 lakh MBBS students take the entrance examination. We are able to provide 1/3 of them PG seats, madam. And considering that we should have more number of PG seats, we launched a program called Joint Accreditation Program in India, which was launched by our Honorable Health Minister during our Foundation Day. And this would result in adding up more seats per year to the tune of about 2 lakhs per year, just in a few years' time. So, Honorable Minister of State for Health and Family Welfare, Madam Anupriya Patel ji, in a statement to the Lok Sabha in August 1, has reported that the number of medical colleges in India have increased to 780 from 397, which was the figure before 2014. MBBS seats have increased from 51,000 to 118,000 for the session of 24-25. To further strengthen these efforts, the National Board of Examination has proposed to offer a tripartite agreement which could enable corporate hospitals too to run MBBS courses by an arrangement with the medical colleges, ma'am. National Board of Examination governing body is also in the process of beginning a 2-year PG program in artificial intelligence and machine learning for our medical graduates. As a member of the governing body of the National Board, Dr. Basu has contributed actively in the growth of the National Board of Examinations in Medical Sciences. And with these words, and on behalf of the National Board of Examination in Medical Sciences, I would like to once again commend Dr. S.N.Basu's exemplary contributions in the field of medical education and healthcare. Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much, sir. नजरें जब उठे तो पहरेदार कौन है? हाँ में हाँ मिलाने वाले तो बहुत हैं, साथ चलने वाले कौन है? साथ चलने वाले कौन है? The Nadda family and the Basu family have been a constant support for Dr. S.N.Basu ma'am. They are very cohesive, always supporting one another and standing united in every situation. Now, we come to the most awaited moment of this event, the reason we are all gathered here. It is my great pleasure to invite the author of this incredible work, Dr. S.N.Basu ma'am, to share her thoughts and reflections on this book that we are so fortunate to be a part of. Ma'am, please come.
सबको सादर प्रणाम. Respected Chief Guest, Honorable Union Minister of State of Family Welfare and Union Minister of State of Commerce and Industry, Srimati Anupriya Patel ji. Oh, it's chemicals and fertilizers. Our honorable guests of honor, Honorable Dr. V.K. Paul, Member NITI Aayog, Government of India, and Honorable Dr. Abhijat Sheth, Chairman NMC, President of NBEMS. My publishers, Mr. Prabhat Agrawal from Prabhat Prakashan, all the esteemed dignitaries, dear friends, colleagues, and well-wishers. It is a real privilege to stand here today in front of you and launch my book in the presence of such dignitaries and all the esteemed members, Communication in Healthcare, Principles, Skills, and Practices. I stand before you not only as a medical professional, but as a fellow human being. I do not claim to be a perfect communicator, like all of us. I have also faced challenges and learned from them. The book is not written from a pedestal, but from the reality that communication is complex and challenging, and it is a skill that we must keep practicing no matter how experienced we are. We have seen what happens when communication goes wrong: misunderstandings, frustration, and even harm. But when it goes right, it builds confidence in patients, comfort for families, and unity within teams. That is the power of good communication. Healthcare is not just about medicines, surgeries, or technologies. It is about people. And people connect through words, tone, silence, and presence. Yet, communication is often taken for granted in medicine. We are trained to diagnose diseases, but not always to understand fears. We are taught to prescribe drugs, but not always listen to silences. Whenever somebody asks me, why did you write this book? For a moment, I don't know whether I go back to the past or not, but I think the actual fact is I find myself going back to my childhood, to the lessons that my parents gave us, not through lectures, but through the way they lived. My mother had a simple but profound teaching: learn to read the eyes of the people. She would tell us that in the eyes, you will see emotions, words, which words may try to hide: fear, joy, hesitation, and even pain. My father, my esteemed Pujniya Pitaji, would say, learn to read people's behavior and intentions. For them, communication was about observing, listening, understanding, being respectful, and responding with balance. Between them, they planted in me the seeds of something that became my lifelong interest: the art and science of communication. Yet, when I entered the world outside, I was struck by how often conversations lacked this sensitivity. Why was it so difficult for people to simply speak with respect? That question stayed with me throughout my journey in medicine, and it is one of the reasons that this book was written. As I grew into the medical profession, I realized how vital those lessons were. In healthcare, we spend years mastering medicine, surgery, technology. But so often, what patients and families remember most is not what we prescribed them, but how did we make them feel. A kind word, an attentive silence, or simply the sense that someone has truly listened, these can heal as much as medicines do. My years working in the United Kingdom reinforced this truth. Watching how medical professionals interacted with patients and families, I saw the remarkable impact of simple, pleasant, and effective communication. Another reason why I wrote this book is to challenge a common misconception that communication is a soft skill, something nice to have, but secondary to the real work of medicine. To me, communication is a core clinical skill, as essential as diagnosing or prescribing. Behind every chart, every scan, and every diagnosis, there is a human being who longs to be seen and heard. In the book, I have tried to bring together three dimensions: principles, the values that should guide us, and the background why, what are the facts that are present at the present time, the data, etc. But we need to follow the principles of basic communication. The skills, the practical abilities we can train: asking better questions, handling silence, and dealing with cultural diversity and conflict. Practices, the everyday realities where communication makes all the difference, whether it is in the emergency department, in the long-term follow-up, in teamwork, in very sensitive situations, for different age groups, and in conversations with families. We have all seen both sides as clinicians. Most of us are clinicians here. Both sides of the story, where we find that if communication is wrong, then it brings confusion and mistrust, while good communication brings clarity, hope, and partnership, transforming the experience of care for patients and families. And here I would like to add one important word, which is listening. So much of communication is not about what we say, because we always assume that we were talking about communication, it is what we are going to say. No, it is also about listening. True listening is not waiting for our turn to speak. It is giving space, honoring silences, hearing the unspoken, and letting the other person feel understood. So in healthcare, listening is a very, very important aspect of good communication and in the act of healing. But listening alone is not enough. That's another very important aspect that we need to address. Honesty in communication is equally vital. Patients and families can accept uncertainty. They can accept difficult news. But what they cannot accept is feeling misled. And that is where we should be very careful when we communicate. Honesty builds trust, and without trust, no treatment, however advanced, can succeed. That truth is simple, but living it out in the complexity of our healthcare is not very easy, as we all know. That is why it deserves our attention, our humility, and our ongoing effort. So, this book is not meant to lecture or to prescribe rules. It is an invitation to all of you and all the health professionals and those involved with healthcare to reflect, to practice, and to keep learning together. The point is not perfection. Communication is not something that we finish. It is something we live, conversation by conversation, patient by patient, and team by team. For me, communication, as I started in the beginning, the main impetus came from my parents, and the inspiration will always be my parents, who taught me that communication is not a technique that we master once. It is a practice that we live every day, for me, not only with patients, but for anybody who comes into contact with us. I also acknowledge the many mentors I have worked with who were and are communicators par excellence. So I'm not writing something new. I have learned from all the people who were in my life. और आज मैं गहरी विनम्रता और कृतज्ञता के साथ झुकती हूँ. बहुत खुशनसीबी महसूस करती हूँ कि आज मेरे पिताजी, जिनमें एक शतक का अनुभव, धैर्य और आशीर्वाद समाया है, आज यहाँ मुझे आशीष देने के लिए उपस्थित हैं. बहुत बहुत प्रणाम. उनमें ही हमारा पूरा परिवार समाहित है और उनके साथ साथ मेरी प्रिय स्वर्गीय माँ से जो मूल्य हमने पाए हैं, संवेदना, सम्मान और संतुलन, वही इस किताब की बुनियाद एवं प्रेरणा है. I wish to express my gratitude to my husband, who gave me enormous help in writing this book, yet chose not to be named as an author, saying that it's your dream and your passion, and so your name should be as the author. And I do give him deep respect for that, and I'm deeply indebted to him. The support of my publishers and the faith of those close to me, those who truly believed in me, have made this book possible. So I'm very grateful to all of you and for the help and the knowledge that I have learned from each and every interaction. I offer this book not as my work alone, but as a gift we share together, as patients, as caregivers, as colleagues, because the story of communication in healthcare belongs to all of us. So I think with this is the reason why I wrote the book, and my every interaction and my upbringing and the prerna that was given by my parents and my experience in the world has given me the impetus to write this book. And I thought what I have learned, I should share, and I should ask all of you to share what you learn as you go along, so that we can make this a more healing place. We should look at not treating patients, but healing patients. And healing starts with the very first word, the very first action. You may not say something, as I said, listening, honesty, because there is a person behind it. So we look at everyone as a person behind it, and we need to make them better and make them feel happier and more content as they leave us. Thank you all very much for having given me this opportunity.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And now the moment we've all been waiting for, the official launch of Dr. S.N.Basu ma'am's much anticipated book. This is the culmination of years of dedication, hard work, and passion. And it is with great pride and excitement that we will now unveil this incredible work to the world. I request Dr. S.N.Basu ma'am, along with our distinguished guests, to please come forward for the formal book launch. Let us all celebrate this moment and the beginning of a new chapter in literature. We invite everyone to explore the book, and we are confident it will leave a lasting impact on all who will read it. The book is available today on a special price of Rs 750. Now, I would like to invite Shri Prabhat sir, who also happens to be the publisher of this book, to kindly come up and say a few words.
आप सबको मेरा सादर नमस्कार। ये क्रम में थोड़ा गड़बड़ा गया, इसलिए ये स्वागत मुझे आप लोगों का करना था, ये क्रम पहले था, परंतु मैं अंतर्मन से आप सबका स्वागत करता हूँ। प्रभात प्रकाशन सचमुच आनंदित है, अभिभूत है कि आप यहाँ आज उपस्थित हुए हैं। किसी रविवार के दिन, छुट्टी के दिन लोगों को किसी लोकार्पण समारोह में बुलाना कठिन होता है, पर ये डॉक्टर S.N.Basu की एक जो निजी बॉन्डिंग है लोगों के साथ में, उस कारण से आप इतनी बड़ी संख्या में उपस्थित हैं। मैं अंतर्मन से आप सबका हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूँ। ये कार्यक्रम एक प्रकाशक और एक लेखक के बीच का कार्यक्रम नहीं है, बल्कि डॉक्टर S.N.Basu हमारी एक तरह से एक पारिवारिक बड़ी बहन है। मेरे बालक का जन्म उन्हीं के हाथों से हुआ, तो इस नाते से उनका बहुत स्नेह हमारे साथ रहा है। मेरे परिवार के लोग यहाँ हैं, हम सब इस हमारे परिवार में जितने बालक हैं सब उन्हीं के हाथों से उनका जन्म हुआ है, तो इसलिए ये मेरे लिए कोई पुस्तक नहीं है। तो दीदी ने जब ये कहा कि मैं इस प्रकार की पुस्तक लिखना चाह रही हूँ, पर मुझे अनुभव नहीं है, मैंने कहा दीदी आपका इतना लंबा अनुभव है चिकित्सा के क्षेत्र में, आप अवश्य लिखिए, और जो भी होगा हमारा जो अपना प्रोफेशनल एक्सपर्टाइज है उसका उपयोग करेंगे और एक अच्छी सुंदर पुस्तक बनेगी। तो इतने वर्षों के परिश्रम के बाद दीदी के अनुभव से हम सब लोग यहाँ लाभान्वित होंगे, ऐसा मुझे विश्वास है। मैं आदरणीय दीदी का बहुत स्वागत करता हूँ। हमारा सौभाग्य है कि आदरणीय अनुप्रिया दीदी भी यहाँ इस समारोह को अपने मुख्य आतिथ्य से गरिमा प्रदान कर रही हैं, उनका भी स्नेह हमें प्राप्त होता रहा है। आपका हार्दिक स्वागत है दीदी। आदरणीय डॉक्टर V.K. पॉल जी, आप नीति आयोग के सदस्य हैं, प्रसिद्ध चिकित्सक हैं, और अभी 3 दिन पूर्व ही विज्ञान भवन में मेरी उनसे भेंट हुई। मैंने मोहन राव भागवत जी के कार्यक्रम में वे आए थे, और उनके दीर्घ अनुभव का लाभ हम सबको समाज में मिलता ही है। मैं आपका भी बहुत स्वागत करता हूँ। डॉक्टर अभिजात सेठ, क्या स्वागत और अभिनंदन। वे इतने बड़े दायित्व पर होने के बावजूद उनमें इतनी सरलता है, विनम्रता है, हम उनसे बहुत कुछ सीखना चाहिए। वे अपने विषय के निष्णात हैं, विद्वान हैं, परंतु सबको प्रेरणा देते हैं, सबका सहयोग करते हैं। आपका भी हार्दिक स्वागत है। हमारा सचमुच परम सौभाग्य है कि आज पूज्य बाबूजी यहाँ उपस्थित हैं। आपकी प्रेरणा और आशीर्वाद से जो कुछ हो रहा है, हम कृतज्ञ हैं बाबूजी, आपके चरणों में प्रणाम करते हैं। इस सभागृह में उपस्थित चिकित्सक और हम सबका जीवन थोड़ा ठीक करने वाले, जो भी हमें विकार होते हैं उनको दूर करने वाले उस चिकित्सा जगत की विभूतियों को और अन्य समाज धर्मियों का मैं हृदय से स्वागत और अभिनंदन करता हूँ। प्रभात प्रकाशन सदैव ऐसी पुस्तकें प्रकाशित करता है जो समाज के लिए उपयोगी हों, चाहे वे भारतीय संस्कृति, धर्म दर्शन से जुड़ी हों, सांस्कृतिक पुनर्जागरण की पुस्तकें हों। और हमने केवल अपने आप को कुछ विषयों में सीमित नहीं किया, हम जो भी ज्ञान विज्ञान के अधुनातन विषय हैं उन पर भी पुस्तकें प्रकाशित करते हैं। और आज ये प्रकाशित होने वाली पुस्तक उसी परंपरा की एक गौरवशाली कड़ी है। हम ऐसी पुस्तकें प्रकाशित करते हैं जो हमारे वैचारिक चिंतन को धार दें और सामाजिक सांस्कृतिक परिस्थितियों पर एक सार्थक संवाद का माध्यम बने। ऐसी पुस्तकें जो अपसंस्कृति और अराष्ट्रीय विचारों के उन्मूलन में सहायक हों। मित्रों, जब कोई अस्वस्थ होता है और उपचार के लिए डॉक्टर के पास जाता है तो सबसे महत्वपूर्ण विषय होता है संवाद, यानी कम्युनिकेशन। हेल्थ केयर में कम्युनिकेशन चिकित्सा सेवा का सबसे महत्वपूर्ण और मानवीय पक्ष है। यह केवल रोग से संबंधित जानकारी देने का माध्यम नहीं, बल्कि रोगी और चिकित्सक के बीच विश्वास, सहानुभूति और सहयोग की नींव है। जब डॉक्टर स्पष्ट, धैर्यपूर्ण और संवेदनशील संवाद करते हैं तो रोगी न केवल अपनी बीमारी को बेहतर समझ पाता है, बल्कि उपचार के प्रति उसका आत्मविश्वास भी बढ़ता है। गंभीर परिस्थितियों में यह और आवश्यक हो जाता है कि मरीज और उसके परिजनों को सरल और सहज भाषा में पूरी जानकारी दी जाए ताकि वे सही निर्णय ले सकें। यह आवश्यक है कि डॉक्टर अपने पेशेंट्स के साथ कम्युनिकेट करें, कंपैशनेट रहें और रोगी और उसके परिजनों के प्रति संवेदना और करुणा का भाव रखें। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी के विकसित भारत के संकल्प को पूरा करने में एक स्वस्थ भारत की परिकल्पना बहुत आवश्यक है और आप सब उसके लिए प्राणपण से जुड़े हैं। मैं आप सबका पुनः अभिवादन और अभिनंदन करता हूं। सचमुच आपके आने से बहुत आनंद हुआ। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Abhijat Sheth, sir, to please come up and say a few words and address the gathering.
Namaste and very good evening to Honorable Minister Shri Anupriya Patel ji, Honorable NITI Aayog member Vinod Paul ji, all my colleagues on the stage, all the faculties of the dais, and ladies and gentlemen, and my special respect to the 100-year-old guy who is driving the family, Shri Narayan Lal Nadda ji. I must say one thing, that we all are here to respect the good contribution by one of our professionals to the medical fraternity. And certainly that's a great thing to happen. But when in our tradition, if father who is 100-year-old gives still a mentoring to her daughter at this age, I think this is what the Indian culture is all about. And if it is, until this is live, India is going to be live across the globe. There's no doubt about it. Communication, I must give special compliment to Dr. S.N.Basu and her husband, Dr. Sitanshu Basu, for wonderful work of communication. I remember that we started this movement around 2018 and 19 to start the communication workshop across the country. It's mainly to address this particular lacunae in the professionalism career of the doctors, and particularly in the complexity of today's medicine and the difficulty of today's medicine, where the expectation of patient has risen significantly, and since then this has become very vital. In the past, this was a habit of a doctor to communicate with their patients, and it was largely self-regulating mechanism, so we never needed to train people on the surface. It never came to surface for need of this, but when the complexity has increased, when the expectation has increased, this has become a vital point for all of us. And you are seeing across the country that this is one of the most important element. Even last year, I remember I was with the ECFMG board chairman, and he said that this is not a problem, communication is not a problem or challenge only for Indian medical fraternity, is a problem everywhere. And he said that we are going to make sure that our amended curriculum will include communication and clinical research as an integral part of medicine, and it should not be a sideline branches or any desired subject. So that itself shows the importance of the communication. Uh, First of all, during COVID time, Dr. S.N.Basu published one of the very important book from the National Board of Examination was Good Medical Practice Guidelines. And this book was published very well. We have second edition after that. And certainly since then, gradually we are getting more and more involved in this communication workshop across the country. And this is going to certainly help the medical fraternity, and eventually it will make them understand that during the formative years of their training, if we impart this professionalism, nature, we all the virtues we impart with them, then certainly they will get a better doctors for tomorrow. And we will continue our effort. This book is one of the effort, and we'll still continue our effort. We are going to include this curriculum into the medical profession to ensure that all the new generation doctors learn this in their formative years of life. If you'll see the books is interesting. It's not only just reading on the topics in a didactic matter, but you will see that there are a lot of examples, lot of good quotes, and lot of good theories around it, which will make you very interesting to read it and to adapt it in your practice for future. Just one important belief which I say by one of the Western writer, he always said that professional success, in your professional success, your academic skills only presents 5%. Your professional experience presents the 10%, and the 80% comes from your communication skills. And you have seen this across the world with all the great leaders, the way they know how to communicate with the community, with the society, and everywhere. So let us take it positively, and I assure you on behalf of the National Board of Examination and now with the NMC that how best we can integrate this communication subject into the learning of the new generation doctors, and particularly during their formative years of training. We will do all the positive things, and I invite all the positive inputs from all of you. My best wishes to the S.N.Basu and her family, and the Nadda family, who always stand rock behind the medical education. They always valued in promoting these sorts of activities. And my best wishes to all of you that let us do work together for the betterment of the medical fraternity of the tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words of wisdom. Now, next Now next, I would like to invite Dr. V.K. Paul sir to kindly address the gathering with his words.
धन्यवाद नमस्कार गुड इवनिंग श्रीमती अनुप्रिया पटेल मैम ऑनरेबल यूनियन मिनिस्टर ऑफ स्टेट फॉर हेल्थ एंड फैमिली वेलफेयर एंड केमिकल्स एंड फर्टिलाइजर्स डॉक्टर अभिजात शेठ जी प्रेसिडेंट NBEMS and Chairperson National Medical Commission, Madam S.N.Basu ji, Shri Prabhat Agarwal ji, Pujiya Babu ji, Nadda family, Basu family, distinguished leadership of medical profession in the room, invited guests, friends, well-wishers. We are here to celebrate the hard work and a passionate work being presented by S.N.Basu ji for dissemination, for uptake, for practice in the profession that the medical profession that we all, many of us in the room belong to. Communication is a two-way bridge between the patient and the doctor. It's a two-way process. And when we look at the dimensions of competencies for a physician, for a doctor, it's fundamentally divided into three parts. One, knowledge. Two, skills, things that we do with hand, perform on the job. And the third is the effective domain. Knowledge domain, skills domain, and these are also called psychomotor skills for that matter, psychomotor skills. And the effective domain. An effective domain, the core component is communication, attitude, behavior, and that encompasses the elements of truth and trust and respect, empathy, and so on and so forth. So, medical education and health professional education always had these three pillars. And we do have an issue about how to impart the affective skills. It's an issue. How do we measure that a student and a doctor, a clinician, and a specialist has embraced them? It has always been a challenge. It has been a challenge particularly to impart, but equally importantly how to assess. Because for knowledge and skills, कुछ टेस्ट करते हैं, एग्जाम लेते हैं, पास कर, इसको कैसे देखा जाए? ये तो थर्ड पिलर था. So this has always been a challenge, and over a period of time, for whatever reason, there are challenges to teach students and to practice at large. And of course, there is dilution of such values as Abhijat has very much pointed out. Generally, this domain is left, in my experience, to the seniors, particularly the teachers, and indeed seniors and peers as role models. सबसे इफेक्टिव जो तरीका आज तक देखा गया वो यही था कि रोल मॉडल. हम देखते हैं हमारे टीचर कैसे बिहेव करते हैं, वो कैसे बात करते हैं, मेरे सीनियर ने बात कैसे करी, मेरे सीनियर स्टूडेंट ने बात कैसे करी, एक दूसरे से बात करी. एंड देन it gets honed by a culture of an institution, culture of a department, culture of a medical college, culture of a hospital. Because there is an overall culture of doing good on this aspect, and there may not be a good culture in another institution, because there is also an institutional character to the effective domain and the communication domain. Now we have a wonderful book that can guide us through communication in healthcare, and rightly doing justice to its title, Shishtaji, principles, skills, and practice. So we now have a good compilation. I hadn't seen a book of this nature. I think my colleagues with whom I have been working, I think we we would say that we haven't seen a scholarly work or a comprehensive work, contextually appropriate work ever been put together into a wonderful book. So this is the achievement, Shishta ji, you have done. So we have a big hand to Madam Basu and all the support that Dr. Basu you have provided and others who have contributed. So this is where this book bridges the gap, and I want to really applaud this very important development in our education system, in our professional system. Not easy. We are aware of ATCOM module. It's an effort done by the fraternity here to bring in these elements formally, and that too as recent as in 2018 in the curriculum. अर्लियर इट वॉज एज्यूम्ड कि होना ही है, जैसे अभिजात सर ने कहा कि सोचते थे अपने आप हो रहा, और रोल मॉडल से सीखते थे हम लोग, आ ही जाता था शायद, वो कल्चर की मूरिंग्स भी थी, एंकर्स भी थे, वो हो ही जाता, जनरली हो जाता था. लेकिन एक सिस्टमैटिक अप्रोच क्या होनी चाहिए? अ थर्ड पिलर कैन नॉट बी लेफ्ट टू अ चांस, एंड दैट इज वेयर मैम योर बुक brings in a structured, knowledge and structured way of going forward with this in one place, and I think that's fulfilling a very important gap that existed in the knowledge bandwidth of this particular domain. Now let me, and she writes beautifully. I think ये नड्डा फैमिली का ये काफ़ी गुण है, उनकी वाणी, उनका कम्युनिकेशन बहुत स्ट्रांग है मलिका मैम, तो ये सभी घूम रहा है परिवार में. सो अब देखिए, मैंने आई हैव द प्रिविलेज ऑफ रीडिंग अ फ्यू चैप्टर्स. अब ये मैम लिख रही हैं इन आई थिंक दैट्स आई एम ब्रिंगिंग फोर्थ मैम टू जस्ट ब्रिंग आउट द फिलोसफी बिहाइंड. इनकी सोच में इन्होंने खुद तो कहा, लेकिन अब वर्ड्स में कहिए, ये कह रहे हैं कि वी ऑफन थिंक, आई कोट, we often think that being good at communication means being a fluent speaker, but in truth, good communication means creating understanding, safety, and connection. It means recognizing that behind every case file, case record, is a human life, and behind every team member is a voice that deserves respect. Further, communication is often seen as secondary, इन्होंने खुद भी कहा, but I endorse it and see how she's written. Communication is often seen as secondary, soft, intuitive, even optional element. But in reality, it is central to every clinical interaction. That's what physician's life is all about. Whether it is a family grappling with a terminal diagnosis, a nurse trying to comfort a distressed patient, and so on and so forth. That's what she elaborates on. And a misworded explanation, I further quote, can lead to confusion, can lead to mistrust, and a feeling of abandonment on the part of the patient. And you could be the patient, I could be the patient. So ये जो feeling आप लेके आए हैं मैम, this is at the heart of your book. And then when we see how you approach it, you've done very systematic job. So अगर ये कोई एग्जाम के लिए किताब होती ना, मैं बहुत नंबर मिलती आपको. परफेक्ट है. आपने प्रिंसिपल्स लिखे, और बहुत एग्जाम लेते हैं नेशनल बोर्ड वाले. प्रिंसिपल्स लिखे आपने, अनरेवलिंग द कम्युनिकेशन प्रोसेस, वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन, पैरालिंग्विस्टिक कम्युनिकेशन. वी ऑल नो दैट बॉडी लैंग्वेज, एटीट्यूड, पॉज, ऑल दैट मैटर्स. कैसे बात कर रहे हैं, तमीज़, ये सब बातें जो है इन्होंने स्ट्रक्चर भाषा में बताई. फिर आर्ट ऑफ लिसनिंग के ऊपर इन्होंने बात कही, इफेक्टिव क्वेश्चनिंग स्किल, एम्पैथी पे बहुत अच्छा एक चैप्टर लिखा, और बड़े डिटेल में एक्सप्लेन करती हैं एम्पैथी और सिंपैथी में फ़र्क है. सिंपैथी इज लुकिंग डाउन, एम्पैथी इज एम्ब्रेसिंग. वेरी ब्यूटिफुली articulated in one of the chapters. And then, so this is the principle. Then she moves to skills. Breaking bad news. क्या कैसे कहा जाए, communicating medical errors, feedback, और फिर आगे जाके it becomes more complex. Communication with adolescents and young adults, communication with persons with disability, empathetic communication with patients at end of life care, and also communication with victims of sexual abuse and trauma. सारे aspect को practical principles के बाद practical पे उन्होंने highlight किया, and then she elaborates how to deal with different situations, and particularly also highlights, madam has highlighted how technology can be used in this regard. So very, very complete book, very contemporary, very contemporarily relevant, and it shows the path for us to make the best use as teachers, as policy enablers, and as a fraternity of medical professionals. A couple of additional points. One, this book has a reach beyond borders. तो सर आप ये भी ख्याल रखिए प्रभात जी, ये बाहर भी बिकेगी, आप बड़ी मार्केट देखिए, बहुत ज़रूरत है हमें बाहर अपने प्रोडक्ट भेजने की, स्वदेशी तो हम करना ही है, ये बाहर भी जाएगी because it is had a universal appeal. Number two, the scope of this book is not only medical profession, nursing, allied professionals, clinical psychologists, dietitians, physiotherapists, the entire fraternity of health professionals, because वो चीज़ बदलती ही नहीं है. मेडिक स्किल्स नॉलेज अपना अपना दायरा बदल जाता है, लेकिन कम्युनिकेशन तो सारा ही है. एंड सेकेंडली, एंड आई थिंक दैट मस्ट बी स्टेटेड, दैट व्हेन वी फेस एज अ मेडिकल प्रोफेशन, shall we say, distress from the society in general, and when an individual doctor faces strong language and even violence, we all know, very senior colleagues are here who run institutions and department. उसकी वजह मेडिकल ट्रीटमेंट में कमी होती नहीं है, कम्युनिकेशन में ही कमी से हमारी पिटाई होती. इट्स अ फैक्ट ओवर एंड ओवर अगेन. हाँ, यू आर स्ट्रेस्ड, द मिडल ऑफ द नाइट, you've been working very hard, it's not easy to have patience, granted, even for the most resilient person. But the fact remains that the disruption happens when communication is not considered or is not optimum from the point of view of the patient to whom we are serving. We are ultimately serving the patient, the society. The society feels that we should communicate better and so on. So definitely having a paradigm, having an understanding of how to go about it, the book I think will surely help students how to go about. And sir, it's also the book, Abhijat sir, not only for students but also teachers. क्योंकि वो जो इन चीज़ों को सीखेंगे तभी पास ऑन होगा, तो चाहेंगे कि ये उन तक भी पहुँचे. तो मार्केट बड़ी है सर, फिर दोबारा बता रहा हूँ आपको. आई एम श्योर मैम यू हैव बीन डूइंग वर्कशॉप्स, कर रहे हैं, वो अच्छी बात है. वी लाइक टू सी हाउ इट कैन बी प्रमोटेड in every which way. I'm sure there is a room for additional tools such as videos and other ways of promoting it, building on this and adding on other elements of AdCom so that it's structured into a curriculum. But above all, here is a book from a lifelong observer, a lifelong learner of communication. सारी इन्होंने बताया कि कैसे ये सब इन्होंने समावेश किया. Lifelong practitioner, a role model in the sphere of communication in health care, and indeed what you have touched is the heartbeat of healing, human connection. These are not my words, your words, but you have captured the heartbeat of healing, the human connection so very well, and encompassed this into a very timely book. We applaud you for this work. God bless. Congratulations. Jai Hind. Thank you. Thank you.
Dr. Abhijat Sheth, Chairman NMC and President Governing Body NBEMS, Dr. S.N.Basu, who's the author of the book that we've all assembled for here today, Dr. Malika Naddaji, and Shri Prabhat Kumarji, publisher, and who has this huge responsibility of taking this insightful work to a large population, all the distinguished members of the medical fraternity, a very good evening. I'm immensely delighted to join you all today for the launch of this book titled Communications in Healthcare, Principles, Skills and Practices, authored by Dr. S.N.Basu. And I must admit today that when she had sent me the invite and I read the title of her book, I am a non-medicine graduate. I was also intrigued with the title and of course the slide details of the subheads which constitute your book. And I started thinking about all the different doctors that I have met in my life for treatment, of course. And I was thinking, who are the ones I stuck to for long and who were those I did not go back the second time. There could be a difference in the clinical abilities, but I am not an expert to comment or understand. But definitely, there was one thing that I could relate to, and that was, how did the doctor communicate to me? So the subject that she has chosen is very intriguing, very interesting, even for a naive person who does not know anything about medical science. So congratulations, my heartfelt greetings to you for making this very timely and much needed contribution to the medical and healthcare community. Dr. Basu, we heard a lot about her, what all she has accomplished over her very long career. And I would just say that, it's a rich experience as a doctor, as a teacher, as a healthcare leader. Everything which has culminated in this book, which shows us the humane aspect of medical science or humane aspect of healing. Because today we don't talk about treatment, we're talking about healing. And healing goes much beyond treatment. So all the different sections, Dr. Paul spoke in detail about a few things which constitute the book. But each of these different sections, when you go through that book, you will feel that each of that 10 sections has been crafted very, very carefully and very sequentially to focus on a particular aspect of communication. So I'm sure the countless hours of hard work that she has put into creating this beautiful piece of work will definitely inspire the readers, immensely benefit the healthcare community, and bring about a difference in their approach towards treatment and actually take them towards achieving healing which is beyond treatments. So my heartfelt greetings to you once again. Friends, in India, we have a very diverse population. And people live here in people speak different languages. There are multiple cultural contexts, and it's so important to communicate. As a health practitioner, it's so important to communicate to your patient in a language that is culturally sensitive, in a language that makes him understand what he is going through or what is the treatment that the medical practitioner is here to offer. Because that is the most important thing, to build that trust. Unless you have the trust of the patient, the treatment cannot proceed. And who will understand it better than you all who are doctors? So when we talk about a patient is not just a case file. He's not just a medical diagnosis, he's a person. So what's most important is to build that human connect so that the patient has trust and confidence, and that reassurance, the patient feels respected and empowered. And that's when things can be taken forward. And this is what the book talks about. Healthcare is not just about diagnosis, treatment, or technology. It's about people, and every consultation, every procedure, every step of care depends on the ability of the healthcare providers to connect with the patients, to understand their concerns, and to explain them with clarity and compassion. Friends, Indian ethos have for long recognized the power of spoken words to comfort, to guide, to heal. And this book exactly talks about the power of those spoken words. A compassionate explanation by maybe a nurse, a patient hearing by a doctor. All that makes a huge difference. In fact, research shows that effective communication leads to increased patient satisfaction, improved adherence to treatment plans, fewer medical errors, and even reduced rates of malpractice claims. It's a vital skill that benefits not only the patient but also the practitioners. So, this book is a reminder to all the healthcare practitioners that communication is as important, good communication is as important as a good clinical skill. It is not an additional skill. It is not a soft skill. It is a core skill because healing rests on the cornerstone, which is called effective communication. This book provides insights and practical guidance on how health professionals can communicate not only with patients but also with families, because it is the families who constitute the support group of the patient. So it's important not just to communicate with the patient but also with the families. Once they are convinced, they will also encourage the patient to cooperate with the treatment. And also, for communication among the doctors and the entire medical team, it becomes very important. In today's world, where medicine is becoming increasingly complex, communication offers simplicity, empathy, and reassurance. It is equally important to highlight how communication can reduce the emotional burden on healthcare. The ability to express, debrief, and share experiences within the team is essential for the mental being and flexibility, especially in the face of burnout and compassion fatigue. It encourages healthcare leaders to foster a culture where empathy, openness, and listening are valued just as much as clinical competence. I appreciate Dr. Abhijat Sheth and Dr. Basu for their foresight and determination that the NBEMS has been addressing the importance of communication through its pan-India workshops. May your efforts continue to positively shape the future of healthcare communication. And I also appreciate the efforts of Dr. V.K. Paul in shaping and revolutionizing the healthcare system of this country. I'm confident that this book will serve as a valuable resource for all the doctors, nurses, medical students, administrators, and indeed for anyone who wishes to make healthcare more patient-centric and humane. It will also inspire us to reflect on our own daily interactions, reminding us that words can heal as much as the medicines. So friends, let this moment inspire us all, the policymakers, the educators, the healthcare practitioners, and the students to invest in communication skills, to uphold the dignity of every patient, and to strengthen the healing bond that lies at the heart of the medicine. My best wishes once again to Dr. S.N.Basu and the entire team. I don't know who your team is, but whoever it is, they've all done a wonderful job. One I know, of course, is Dr. Saab, who's sitting very quietly. He doesn't react to anything we say, but he's been your staunch support. But of course, there must be a lot of other people who've contributed. Yes, all the dignitaries here and everybody who's contributed. My good wishes to all of you, because whatever we achieve in life is never an individual effort. It's always the contribution of so many people who are our well-wishers, who happen to be our family, and who happen to be just so many, which is why it is so important to give back to the society. And when you write this book and we release it today, you are paying back to the society. I recommend this book to all. May this book reach far and wide, and Prabhatji is here to make sure that it reaches far and wide. And may it contribute to creating a healthcare system where patients feel heard, understood, and cared for. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your kind words. As we come to the close of this wonderful evening, I would like to invite Dr. S.N.Basu, sir, for the vote of thanks.
Namaste and good evening. The author is my wife. मैंने सोचा नहीं था इतनी जल्दी ये बात निकल जाएगी, लेकिन so on behalf of my wife, the author, it is my privilege and pleasant duty to extend this vote of thanks. Our deepest gratitude, ma'am, to our chief guest, Honorable Union Minister of State for Health and Family Welfare, Srimati Anupriya Patel, who, despite her demanding schedule, has deemed it important to grace this occasion. Your leadership and vision, ma'am, is well known. To unveil this book highlights the importance of this skill of communication. Your presence this evening, ma'am, adds depth and meaning on this launch of this book. Thank you very much, ma'am. Our distinguished guest of honor, Dr. V.K. Paul, member of the NITI Aayog. Sir, your gracious support and counsel and the foreword you have written for this book is invaluable. Your presence is a source of encouragement and a reminder of the importance of nurturing humane values along with scientific values. Our special guest, Dr. Abhijat Sheth, sir, who at the moment has the dual responsibility of being the chairperson of the National Medical Council and president of the National Board of Examination. We are truly grateful. Your constant encouragement and support has been invaluable throughout, not only by way of this book, but also sponsorships and organization of conferences, lectures, workshops, conferences throughout the country. Your leadership continues to inspire generations of doctors and medical professionals. Thank you, sir. Professor Meenu Bajpai, Executive Director of the National Board and former Head of Department of Pediatric Surgery at AIIMS. Thank you, sir, for your warm words about the author. Special thanks to Shri Rakesh Sharma ji, the OSD in the National Board. He, as Dr. Sheth will testify, is a perfectionist and with his vast experience has been a constant source of help and guidance. All problems, however big or small, has a solution, and Rakesh ji can find the solution without any stress. Thank you, Rakesh ji, for your constant availability. If I'm allowed to deviate from the script, I'd like to mention one small incident which happened recently. Mrs. Basu was under a lot of stress. She still is, by the way. But anyway, she was under a lot of stress and she talked to Rakesh ji and all he said was, "Ma'am, stress nahi lene ka, photo kharab ho jayega." His quirky sense of humor. My warm acknowledgement to Mr. Prabhat Agarwal of Prabhat Prakashan. You have been a partner with us in the true sense of the term, right from the beginning, the first draft, to the realization of our dream and the launch today. Thank you, Prabhat ji, for your guidance, your patience, and your professionalism for making this journey possible. We are joined this evening by heads of institutions, visionaries, leaders, pioneers of national and international acclaim in academics and healthcare. I beg your indulgence and forgiveness in not naming you individually. However, you're always in our hearts. My sincere thanks to all. Many colleagues, friends, and well-wishers have joined us this evening. Some have traveled long distances, having to reschedule their work. Your presence is touching, a true gift of your affection and solidarity, which we will treasure. Our gratitude and thanks especially to Dr. Didwania and Dr. Mrs. Usha Didwania, Dr. Jitendra Singh, and Dr. Ajay Kumar, who is like an elder brother to me. Our family and relatives have been pillars of strength to us with their constant encouragement. ठीक है? सब ठीक है, Malika? All good? Okay, can I continue? So, as I was saying, our family and relatives have been pillars of strength to us with their constant support and encouragement. Unfortunately, at times I have taken them for granted. My sincere thanks to all. I will be failing in my duty if I do not thank the leadership and the support staff of this institution, the Ambedkar International Center, especially Colonel Akash Patel. Along with his team of very helpful staff, he has extended all help and support. Also, a thanks to the support staff, especially from the National Board of Examination, who at a minute's notice have come here and helped us throughout. We treasure your help and support. My sincere thanks. On a personal note, I have personally witnessed the devotion, the hard work, often burning the midnight oil for more than 2.5 years by my wife over this book. This is a passion for her. In the words of a gynecologist, in the modified words of a gynecologist, this book is a fruit of her labor. Finally, to all our guests and well-wishers, this is not just the launch of a book. This is an affirmation of the fact that communication is important, that connection and empathy are important, that these are as vital as science and technology. If I'm allowed to give one example, Mrs. Basu, can I give one example? No. Okay. घर पे तो बोल ही नहीं सकते यहाँ भी. Anyway, if I have to say in one sentence, science cures, but communication heals. Thank you. Pardon? But you told me not to say it. Okay, this one small example of, I leave this problem with you. A pregnant girl comes to Mrs. Basu along with her mother. And how do I know all this? I was a fly on the wall listening to everything. Along with her mother, and says, look, my mother-in-law is outside. And please tell her that I need rest. She makes me work. Then both of them go out. The mother-in-law comes in and says, look, you please tell her to work. Because the whole day she's in the room locked. क्या खाती है मुझे नहीं मालूम आजकल जोमेटो स्विगी क्या क्या है मैं खोल के देख भी नहीं सकती हूँ क्योंकि बोलेगी गिव मी स्पेस. Now, here comes the art and science of communication with the patient, not patient, pregnancy is not a disease, with the girl, with the mother, and with the mother-in-law. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. A big thanks to Dr. S.N.Basu ma'am for making us part of her special day. A heartfelt congratulations once again on the launch of your book, ma'am. Your vision and hard work have brought us all here together today, and we are proud to witness the unveiling of this masterpiece. Finally, a big thank you to our audience for being here today to support and celebrate the spirit of literature and knowledge. Your presence has made this occasion even more special. With that, I once again express my deepest gratitude to all of you for your patient listening. We hope the book will inspire and leave a lasting impression on everyone who reads it. I now request everyone to join us for high tea at the Shravasti Hall, which is in the first floor. You can either take the lift or you can go by stairs. Have a great evening, everyone. Thank you. Sure, sir, sure. Please join us for the national anthem.
कृपया अपने स्थान पर खड़े हो जाएं. जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंग, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंग। तब शुभ नामे जागे, तब शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तब जय गाथा, जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे। भारत माता की जय।